It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Rams and the Vikings, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 22.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at our two quarterbacks in this one, it's really a good matchup when you boil it down. Matthew Stafford of the Rams, Kirk Cousins of the Vikings.
And Brandon, I think each one might be trying to play some form of keep away from the other, because when you think about time of possession and what that means in a game, it's great if you're able to hold on to the football and run your offense at your pace. And it also helps to keep the other guy's offense on the sideline. That's your goal for the game.
Greg Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Rams taking the field, ready for their first offensive series, and led out by their new starter for 2021 in his now 13th season in the National Football League, Matthew Stafford.
And what big news it was back in January when news leaked out that Matthew Stafford was leaving Detroit and heading out west to join the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are hoping he's the missing piece to the puzzle as they seek a Super Bowl title. Over 45,000 yards passing as a Lion, but not a single playoff victory in his entire tenure. The Rams general manager has said he can envision Stafford staying 5 to 8 years, which would take him into his 40s.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, here's Stafford. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Running left is Henderson. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force the 3rd down.
Henderson will try and run for the 1st. And able to pick up the 1st across midfield to the 47. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll try the air now with Stafford. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, Stafford. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a handoff, Henderson. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
So now the Rams send out the field goal team here. Gay's kick is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Well, the Minnesota offense ready to go to work here. Their quarterback in his 10th season overall now, and 4th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a 4th-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
first down. Here's the run with Cook. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Working with a 2nd and 4.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll run it. Here's Cook. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away.
Cooper Kupp deep for L.A.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
A carry by Henderson to start the drive. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5 now. Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. They'll run on first down. Henderson. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, your front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit. And that's what he did on that play.
And he's going to have a Rams first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line.
Holding offense. This is unbelievable.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Stafford. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
You definitely would like to have hit on that one, because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Stafford. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Back deep, Dede Westbrook. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Cousins. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Oh, now Miller's slow in getting up. He's still down on the ground. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Play action now, Cousins. Open man here is Conklin. Touchdown, Vikings! Tyler Conklin, 45 yards, and the Vikings have taken the lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long hand.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Dalvin Tomlinson breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
And he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
A hole to dig out of here, 2nd and 17.
Another try after the first down sack. Stafford. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Patrick Jones, the rookie out of Pitt, in there to get him.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack, and they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Johnny Hacker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Nifty move. 1:53 remaining in this first half of play. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again. On 2nd and inches, Stafford.
He'll get this underneath to Henderson.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Stafford now to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Only needing 2 yards on second down.
Throwing again is Stafford. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, L.A. Odell Beckham as the first half is winding down. And the Rams are going to jump back in front.
That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Rams. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from their passing game. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. This fielded right at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Lets it fly for Thielen. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
A give. This is Cook. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Get ready. Get ready.
And that's why Dalvin Cook is the Minnesota Vikings featured back. You put the ball in his hands, good things happen. Second in the NFL last year in rushing with 1,557 yards, and that's now back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with 30 combined total touchdowns. What a player is Dalvin Cook.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. 43 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hey, you got three.
To throw, Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6.
I got you, boy. 51 to mine. 51 to mine. I'm coming after you.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
51 to Mike, boy. 51.
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
But they're certainly being aggressive here. It's like being a sprinter in a 100-meter dash, exploding out of the blocks, trying to push the ball downfield. Guaranteed this defense better be on their toes. They're going to be tested all game.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. Joseph's got it. And that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter, and continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time?
They were really good on the last drive. Now, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion force there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop him short of a first down.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Cousins. Over the middle, complete. That's Osborne. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Left side, Cook. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And this will be a Vikings first down as good running gets them to about the 44.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, as we all know, possessions are crucial in a tie game, and let's face it, I really didn't need to tell you that. You already knew it. So when he sees he's got nothing good going, an excellent decision to just send that one to the sideline.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. And the Rams got him. They bring him down.
Von Miller, he was the one getting in there, able to wreak his usual havoc. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins to throw it. They'll fire one deep for Westbrook. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And the Rams force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field, and the question, can they turn that interception into points? A tie game for the moment in the 4th quarter.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there they didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Five yards remain on 2nd down. On the draw, this is Henderson.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. And that's incomplete.
Can't fault the offensive line for that incompletion at all. He had all day to throw the football. Their alarm clocks went off early today, didn't they?
Absolutely, they did. He was surveying, finally let it go, but incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
On the handoff, Henderson. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
17, guys. Check him out. He's going to sit.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
72 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a run with Cook. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
From here, it would be a 45-yard field goal attempt, certainly in range, but they'll look for more yardage on 3rd down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
A little extra pressure with this one for Greg Joseph.
This for the lead in the final stages. The kick by Joseph is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Joseph now to kick this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. So now Stafford and the Rams
Down 13-10, less than 90 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Now Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. A big play there for L.A. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. Stafford.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
So now you're in range to tie things with a field goal, but they still have plenty of time to work for a game winner, and they're trying to do so. Nice job defensively to force incompletion there.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Stafford.
That's complete to his running back, Jefferson.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Running left is Henderson, and he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely to take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
Taken in at the 3. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. L.A. readies for its next possession.
They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
Back to throw, Stafford. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call. But when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to him. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
Play action, Stafford. Going up top for Kupp. And that is incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the 50, it's Stafford. And they finally get to him as he's taken down. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack. Although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that. And the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you're facing intentional grounding call.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. Under pressure, they got him again. DJ Waddle, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
105 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They run it again with Cook. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
2nd and 8.
What can Cousins do in the OT? And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Aaron Donald picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Now back to throw.
That's complete. It's Cook.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Now the Rams offense getting the football back. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Here's Stafford. He's got Higbee complete right side. That catch good for only a couple. This being their second opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
2nd down, it's Henderson. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Stafford.
That'll be swung out wide here for Henderson.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. I know they may want to go for this, but the smart play probably to punt it, even given the field position, right?
In a sense, you honor what they've done all game. And this is a defense that's held the score down, kept it tight, kept you right in it, and they're really jonesing for one more shot. Give it to them. Let them play defense for you and give you a better chance to win the game.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on for the 5th time here today. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored. That's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Gotta be careful though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
A 1st down throw for Cousins.
Open man is Osborne. He's got him.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT.
Three yards remain for 2nd down.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back.
Tension building. Here's Greg Joseph.
And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
Tension building. Here's Greg Joseph.
This to win it in overtime. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And we will play on here in overtime. Well, when you get that ball in OT, that's not the chance you envision, and the long field goal attempt here winds up lacking.
And you don't want to hang too much of this on your kicker, but he's going to leave you in a tough spot as well because you give your opponents excellent field position to start their first drive.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
So it all rests now on the right foot of the kicker, Matt Gay. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.